Come on. Here we go. We're live.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Financial Fitness Friday. Dave's about to piss himself because he doesn't know how to use a microphone. And we're going to go over a lot of cool stuff today that is going to be revolving around some controversial topics. One, student debt, okay? And then the other one is things that I have been implementing that have made a big difference with my kids. And I think it's important that we actually teach our children the right ways of capitalism, right? So let's get into this. First off, student debt loans shouldn't be canceled. Fuck you. You went to school, okay? You probably got a degree in basket weaving, all right? And they just shouldn't be canceled, right? Who's paying for that? We're all going to pay for that, okay? What's crazy? All the blue collar guys aren't saying cancel my student debt. They went to trade school and they're making anywhere from 80 to 200K a year. You know, I never heard
Don't weave.
Yeah, I never heard a plumber saying, "Oh, yeah, I have all this student debt." No, like he probably paid that off within 2 or 3 years. There is honor in those professions. Second, like let's be real. I went to school for economics, okay, and you could say, "Oh, well, you own a company now and you do business financing and all this, you invest in real estate and crypto and stocks." And you know all this stuff. Yeah, I know all that stuff. But I learned that from trial and error and doing and reading. I didn't really learn a lot of that. Most of what I learned in college was how to take a test. Okay. If anyone knew me in college, and I'm just being transparent as possible here. If you knew me in college, I sat and attended probably 30% of my classes. Okay. Just because I wasn't there to learn. All right. And what I did learn didn't really translate. All it got me was a foot in the door in Wall Street, and I hated it. At 8 months into it, I absolutely hated it. Okay, so that leaves us in a dilemma and a pickle, and I'm kind of doing this episode from reverse, but you'll understand why. I don't know if college is really necessary. If you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, yes, it's necessary. If not, why are you going to pay $40,000 a year for 4 years, or in my case, 4.5 years, to come out with a lot of debt just to get a job that you hate, instead of actually learning things that are going to help you. I learned more in groups like Apex and Arate about business than I ever learned in college. Okay, think about it. Most of those professors don't have real world experience. They don't know. They know the basics. They know what's in the textbook, and that's where it ends. So that's a personal decision. I'm not trying to steer you one way or the next. The point of this conversation today is what can we do to prepare the younger generations for the real world? Okay? They don't learn about taxes. By the way, tax step. They don't learn about business, how to make a business plan, how to execute on that business plan, and how to actually operate a business. And one of the things that I've been doing, my kids have been seeing me work out every day. Now they work out every day. They do martial arts. They're in sports, and I give them books. Like I'll tell you right now, the Andy Frisella's books, the Ocean Control, yep, they're amazing. Jocko Willick's books are amazing, and there's books for investing with kids. And what I do is, after my kids reads a chapter, we work on implementing some of those strategies. And we go into eventually, not now. I'm gonna teach him because he's only 8 how to invest in stocks and other assets. And then right now, this weekend, we're going through how to set up a business plan and then execute. Obviously, you can start on easy stuff like a lemonade stand. Okay, what's the cost of the lemons? What's the cost of the cups, the table, any banners? Okay, what's the cost of the mix? Right? Put that all on an Excel. Show them. Okay, now how do you get clients there? Okay, that's a big part of it. So I'm going to teach them. You go door to door. You could set up a stand. You could hand out flyers. So I want him to kind of learn this from the ground up, because the same principles of setting up a lemonade stand is very, very similar to running a lending company, to running a credit repair company, right? To doing all these different things. And if you teach them the basics, even if they're not going to stay at a lemonade stand their whole life, right? Maybe they figure out something they're really interested in, something they enjoy doing, and they set up the same type of thing using the exact same concepts, right? How valuable is that? Now you're teaching your kid how to be self-sufficient. You're teaching them how to hunt. Okay, you're teaching them how to operate a business and make an impact in a community, right? Instead of taking them and doing something like kids like to do, teach them this, and if they're interested in this, guess what? That curiosity is only going to grow. Okay, and then you can mess around with other business models. Maybe it's cutting lawns. Okay, doing landscaping. Maybe it's cleaning pools. You don't know until you try. But the important thing is to teach them these concepts. What do you got on this, Dave?
I think as far as am I right?
You're okay for now.
We'll be good. We'll be good. So I think as far as going back to the basics of the kids' books, I think a lot of adults need to read those too. You know what I mean? If they don't have them, start with a dumbed down version. Not saying kids are dumbed down, but they have a beginning too. And it's almost just like the same with adults. Because, dude, we have it in our company every day. People don't know anything about credit. We had somebody from my wife's from her benefits program at her school district last night got on the subject with credit. And she has no idea or anything about it. Her husband's have to go through a whole PHFA program just to get approved and all this craziness. So it starts with basics. Even gave her something just on the credit side. So if you're teaching your kids some stuff and having it with basic books with them, and if you don't know any of this stuff, that's probably a great place for you to start as well. So, and as far as the higher education stuff, I mean, it's a racket, man. Like, my wife will probably kill me for saying it anyway, but she's the educational type of look, okay, obviously for certain things, yeah, I get that. You can't be a doctor or whatever without some of that stuff. But most of the stuff today, most of the people I know with companies, they want to give you on the job training. They don't want you bringing some school's bad habits or something you've never done before. If you're at an entry level position, look, come into our company. This is our culture. This is how we do things. We're going to teach you our way and the right way. And trades, man, I see that becoming very big. And that's never going to go away. I mean, first and foremost, people always need houses, electricians, plumbers, and so forth. And if anything, college is so watered down business. Like, I think a lot of them are going to end up folding, or it's going to be mostly online based. So it's kind of like my little spiel on that. Hopefully my wife's not catching it, but whatever.
Listen, your wife's probably going to kill you anyway.
Yeah.
Because if you can't do a microphone and you just admitted to having a third grade reading level. All right. We still love you.
There's always a couple in the group, man. Somebody's got to take the role, man.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think it's important, right? Because here's the deal. I'm also going to show him what the different margins look like in different businesses, right? So you break it down, lemonade, it's cute, the neighborhood's probably going to want to hook them up and drop a 10 or a 20 and not ask for any change. I get that. And obviously that changes depending on what neighborhood you're in. Okay. But my neighborhood's pretty fucking cool with that stuff. And multiple kids have set up lemonade stands. And I love that, right? That just shows the parenting is different in those neighborhoods too. But what if we actually taught them, hey, lemonade stand, if you did it 4 weeks in a row, the first week you're probably going to make like $200. The second week is probably going to be 150, and then it's going to be 100 because it's not cute anymore, right? And then $50. And they see those diminishing returns. And then you say, well, what can I do that's sustainable, right? Well, if you start cutting lawns, and I'm still messing around with this. I don't know if I would trust my son at 8 years old to go cut lawns. That could be fucking irresponsible. Wouldn't be the first time. Yeah, well, listen, I'm in hot water. I bought him a dirt bike, and Yeah, I did. And my wife is not happy with me. If she's watching this, sorry, it's just something I always wanted as a kid and figured it'd be awesome to get him a dirt bike. But
Love it.
my point in saying this is like they need to be able to compare apples to apples. So lemonade stand, cutting lawns, which is consistent, right? Or is it like a cleanup? What business model is consistent? I just bought a machine to do work on the post sale process, right? So maybe I teach him how to use the machine, and he engraves all these tumblers that we're going to start sending out. Little things like that. And then once they make that money, I'm just saying, how awesome would it be to teach him how bad taxes suck? All right, well, 30% comes right off the top. Now, I wouldn't take it. I would put it in his bank account and not tell him, right? But you want to teach these things that are applicable in life. Okay, so you take the taxes out. Obviously, he's not going to be buying all the materials, so you take your money back that you lent him to go buy these materials, and then you show him what profit looks like at the end, right? And then if his little brother wants to join, he's got to pay his little brother, uh, you know, whatever his time's worth for that. Teaching them these concepts goes a long way, and what it does is it prepares them for life. And I got to tell you, I think that is super important, and not enough of us do that. I had a different type of upbringing. We didn't come from nothing. Like a lot of people like to tout that story. I came from poverty, and I'm self-made. I don't believe that people are self-made. I think that you have a lot of people helping you, whether it's your team, your family. Uh, that's just my beliefs. However, I did learn that I had to work for everything that I had. So if they bought me a car, I had to pay them back. If they bought me, a bike, I had to pay them back, which helped me develop a work ethic. And that is definitely something that is lacking, I feel. Um, and that's something that we have to give to our kids, because even if we give them, we build this empire for them. The truth of the matter is, if you give them an empire and then you pass, they don't have the skill set required to actually run with it, right? They don't have the hunger, the desire to make that impact. They just know this is always how it's been. All right. So there's a lot of power in doing that. There's a lot of power in setting something like that up. Don't discount that. So if you teach them young, they can take over and continue the momentum that you've built throughout generations. All right. And that is something that every single one of us has to be cognizant of, something that every single one of us has to make sure that we impart on our kids.
100%. 100%. Your kids play video games?
They're big into certain things on the phone, but we limit it.
Yeah.
And I've never played a video game in front of them. To be honest, I don't have the time, and the time I do have, I want to spend. I work a little different. On the weekends is when I catch up on a lot of the shit that I had to do during the week because I'm too busy. 7 to 7.
Yeah.
So I make sure they go to karate or martial arts 3 times a week. I make sure they go to all their sporting events. I go with them. When we have time off, like last week, I took them to Universal. That was crazy. And then I'll take them out on the boat or to the beach. So I want to be outside. They do have a little bit of downtime when they're on their games on the phone, but I personally loathe that. What about you?
Same thing. I mean, no video games at all. Tablet times very limited. I will say this, especially about my son, the things that he does engage in on tablet stuff, not necessarily games, but more stuff that gets his mind rolling. Like this kid knows stuff about marine life, like these crazy, not just like squids or whatever, but this particular type and what they look like and what they do, how they hunt. It's just mind blowing, man. So but that is limited. It's like, look, let's go outside. let's do some stuff. Let's go play football. Let's learn how to ride your bike because he's at that age to learn riding a bike now. But yeah, man, I'm with the whole dirt bike thing. That's part of my upbringing. Hope you got a 125 or a 250 or 450 or something, man. So
well, that's the funny part, right? My wife's like, "You are a dumb motherfucker." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "He can barely ride a bike." I'm like, "Yeah, he'll learn." We scrape. And then my friend brought up that like, "Hey, I get what you're doing, but it's kind of dumb because you don't have a dirt bike. So now I have to go get a dirt bike to make sure I can keep up with him." It's only like a 60cc. He doesn't even know it's there.
Yeah,
Like
and
it's just sitting in the garage.
And they make training wheels for dirt bikes, by the way. So
Do they?
yeah, they do like little inflatable, like side mounted tires. So that way, believe it or not, I mean, there have been a lot of kids that start out, even as young as 3, that instead of riding a bike, they get on a dirt bike with training wheels on it. So, but yeah, if I find them, man, I'll send that down to you. But yeah, so still walk with them on the training wheels. You get away with it a little bit for now until he starts burning away from you. That's so awesome, man.
Well, listen, that's something I always wanted when I was a kid. We had a quad, and well, I didn't. My neighbors had a quad, but I can tell you anything that's motorized, that's like a 1 or 2 person vehicle. I'm not the person for it. I got a quad stuck in a tree. I've broken more jet skis than I can count. When we travel, I'm not allowed to go anywhere with I'm not allowed to rent jet skis because I always go find the biggest boats and I jump the wakes. And I've dismounted because they have little motor brackets in there in the jet skis, and they're plastic. So if you're coming down hard on that jet ski, really hard, a lot of times you break those motor mounts and it detaches, and then you're dead in the water.
How many of them have you fried?
A lot.
Oh man, that is awesome. So awesome.
Yeah, I never did it to my jet ski though. My jet ski was solid.
Yeah. Well, it depends what you're getting. One of these small guys, you get what you pay for. You're getting a big Yamaha FX cruiser or something.
Yeah, I had the FX show or whatever, like their top line one that goes like 70 something.
Yeah. Super. I'm a motor man. Listen, next time I'm down in Florida, I told Mike I'm down there. Probably go to Eagle Rider, rent a Harley Road Glide or something, man. Go have some fun. So if I'm down there, man, we'll get you on 2 wheels. We'll have your wife love you some more, man. It'll be all right.
She won't. She knows. She made me sell the bikes.
Oh man, brother, you got anything else, my man?
I don't, except sending you a new microphone.
Thank you. We'll put it on the tab. It's all good.
Cool.
Guys,
thanks for tuning in.
Have a great day. Kick ass. Be great.